Let me tell you something real quick. I opened my phone this morning and looked at week 11 matchups and immediately closed it like I saw my ex's name pop up. I said, nope, not before breakfast. I'm not emotionally stable enough for this. Some of these teams got me praying, and I don't even go to church that much. Hey, I'm Crow, and this is Crow's Playbook. All right, everyone. Welcome to episode 15, and we are officially 24 hours away from some of the craziest weeks in NFL, all right? Week 11 slates the entire season from here. Tomorrow is going to be beautiful chaos. We've got teams fighting for playoff spots, teams fighting for dignity, and teams fighting to not get roasted on Monday morning sports talk shows. Now, week 11 always separates the real ones from the motherfakers. All right, before we jump into the picks for today, let's talk about the public. Every week 11, the public does this thing where they see one decent performance and they lose their minds. Some of y'all watch a team look good for about 6 minutes last week, and suddenly you're calling them contenders. Just relax. Week 11 exposes weaknesses like bad lighting on a dating profile. Let the truth come out first. All right, let's start with the Detroit Lions. The Lions are exactly where you want to be this deep into the season. They're hungry, they're physical, they're violent, and they're focused. Every time they lose, even a close game, here comes the haters crawling out like raccoons knocking over trash cans. But the Lions are still built like a crew that didn't get their lunch break. They hit first, they hit hard, and if you can't match their energy, you're going to get flattened out. And this is a statement week for Detroit. And since we're talking Lions, this is my team pick of the week. I'm putting down $20,000 on the Detroit Lions to cover the spread. If they handle business the way I know they can, the slip return about $38,000 on Onyx Odds. This is my statement pick. This is the pick that plants the flag in the ground for week 11. Let's move into PrizePicks lens because they are the entries for this week that I put in, and they are looking super juicy. First one is Christian McCaffrey, over on rushing and receiving combined. McCaffrey is healthy, involved, and the centerpiece of that offense. When he gets 30 opportunities, he cashes more often than not. I'm putting $2,300 on McCaffrey's over. If it hit, that returns about $4,300 on Onyx Odds. That's not a pick, that's just a simple investment. My next pick is going to be Amon-Ra St. Brown over on receptions. The sun god himself does not take days off. If the Lions get into a shootout or even a tight game, he will still see 10 to maybe 12 targets blink without blinking. I'm putting $3,650 on Amon-Ra's over today. If he plays the way he always does, that slip returns around $6,800. That's easy money on this one. Another lean I like is good old George Kittle, over on receiving yards. When he gets involved early, he turns into a cheat code. One big route over the middle can flip this entire slip. I'm laying $2,000 on Kittle. If he breaks off even one chunk play, that return hits around $3,750 on Onyx. One play can cash the whole entire thing. Now let's talk about upset alerts before we get done for the day. Week 11 has a few landmines, but be careful because with any team dealing with heavy travel this week, their fatigue is going to be real. Jet lag is definitely real. Preparation changes you when you're bouncing around time zones. Some of these players are stepping off planes looking like they need a massage, a nap, and maybe a therapist. Travel spots matter more than people actually admit. Another upset alert is any team with a quarterback situation that looks shaky. If your quarterback looks nervous heading into week 11, your team is already cooked. You can still push it, but it's going to fight you every step of the way. There are a couple games on this slate where the team with stronger defense might still win if the opposing quarterback starts throwing prayers. Let's switch into mindset talk because this is where bettors win or lose long term. Do not bet scared, do not bet emotional, and do not chase. Do not throw your whole entire bankroll at one game because you're mad at Thursday Night Football. Betting is a long game. Patience, discipline, and rhythm. You will win by stacking smart decisions, not by begging the universe for a bailout. Be precise, be intentional, and be consistent. I want you locked in tomorrow. Confident, smart, clear, reading the field and not your feelings. If you lose a pick, just move on. If you win a pick, stay humble. Consistency builds bankrolls. Ego destroys them. Tomorrow is going to be a beautiful day of football. Big plays, bad decisions, chaos, emotions, upset, and childhood heroes. Week 11 always delivers, and you already know where I'll be back here breaking it all down after the final whistle. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and drop your favorite pick of the week 11 in the comments, please. Tell me your upset alert, your prize pick entries, and who you think is going to shock the world. I'm Crow, and this is the Crow's Playbook.